Every painting starts out with a really clean pencil drawing on the paper. I want to make sure I don't have any erase marks, any sloppiness to it, because when you paint over with the watercolor, that might show through. I really like to do paintings that kind of tell a little story. For this one, I wanted to do something kind of whimsical. I did this crazy skull with a little doorway on the side. It's got a bunch of crystals growing out of it. And this little forest elf dude with a little pirate hook hand. And he's like down on his hands and knees trying to look inside, see what's going on inside this funky skull. First things first, lay down some colors in my color palette. Gonna do neon oranges and neon yellows. I want to make this skull super bright, make it a wild looking glowing skull. I start at the edges. I'm gonna do dark oranges and then work it out to lighter oranges, and I'm gonna work that out into yellow, and I'm gonna do that all the way around the skull, oranges to yellows, oranges to yellows, and then I just keep working it, putting some darks in there, putting some lights in there, putting some darks in there, and until I get all the shadows exactly how I want them. Now that I got that glowing skull exactly how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and on the inside and add some different shades of blue, starting from the outside with a light blue to the inside with dark blue, and then where the door is, the very last line, I'm going to do this bright pink so that it looks like the inside of the doorway is glowing. Now I'm going to work my way around the skull, coloring in all the plants I have growing out of the skull and all the crystals that are popping out. I'm going to use 3 different shades of purple for the crystals and then a blue at the very top of the crystals. I'm going to do this elf dude a really nice light blue color, and I'm going to work some dark blue shadows in. I'm super happy with how these guys are looking. Now I'm going to move up and start to do the night sky. I'm going to do dark purple and magentas, and that's really going to make these neon colors pop even more than they already do. I'm going to do dark purples that work into magenta, and I'm going to fade them in together all across the painting. It's going to give a really cool night sky effect. I'm going to let this night sky dry all the way, and then I'll come back and do little white dots for stars and some clouds in the sky. Now for the forest elf. I'm going to paint his cloak. Same way, I'm going to do all the light pinks, and then I'm going to work shadows in. This dude needs a name. How about Wombly? Wombly the Curious Forest Elf. He's got a hook for a hand, probably from being too curious. Must have got bitten off somewhere or something. He's trying to peer inside this skull, see what's going on in there. Let's see what he can find out. Back to the sky and add the stars and these neon pink clouds in the sky. It's going to give a lot of depth to the painting and add some cool vibes. Now for the finishing line, just going to add the final outlines to everything. I'm going to use a couple different colors for the outlines here, and it's just going to add a lot of depth. This is the most painstaking part of the painting. I used to outline all my stuff in markers, and I switched in recent years to mixing my own colors and doing it all with brush. It takes a lot longer, it's a lot more nerve-wracking, but I think the end result is worth it. Now for the final touches, I just add some little white highlights all around the painting. Kind of makes everything look a little bit shiny. This is an influence from my background in painting graffiti. A lot of what I paint is really influenced from years of painting graffiti, from how I use color to even adding these little gleams, these little shines. It's all taken from graffiti. And that's it, the painting's done. Got my googly-eyed neon crystal skull building with a ghost living inside. Got Wombly the Curious with his hook hand trying to investigate, see what's inside. Maybe he's a ghost hunter lurking in the middle of the forest. I don't know, you can make up your own story too. It's got a little snake also trying to see what's going on inside this crazy skull. It was a fun one to paint, and thanks for following along. Alright guys, so that's it. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I'll try to make some more of these. Peace.